Hello everyone, I'm looking today at Soul Calibur 6. This is where things get kind of funny. Again, I've only played the even-numbered Soul Calibur games simply because, you know, the additions they make and the odd ones, it just never really interest me. But this is the one that really got my attention, mainly because, again, you know, the special characters they added to this game was, you know, The Witcher and 2B from Nier, which is insane. I know, you know, Nier Automata is still kind of a very new, you know, kind of IP, and you know, I'm still just blown away by this crossover where, I mean, 2B has been in so many different crossovers at this point, but this one to me is still the craziest, and the idea that anything is possible. I mean, I love the original Nier. I love the fact it even got a sequel. I love the fact that sequel was hugely successful. I love the fact that main character is hugely popular, and I love the fact she got in Soul Calibur, which is also my favorite fighting game series. It to me is just overwhelming a little bit, and the fact that our moveset is actually really fun and overpowered feels great. And also, I believe this is where the first appearance of 2P comes from, which is her alternate costume, where she is darker skin in a white outfit. And that was just done as an aesthetic thing. They're like, you know, we're going to do this. And it's like, sure, why not? And then she became an actual character in Final Fantasy XIV. It just keeps going. It's so crazy, the creative momentum this game has. But that's Nier. Anyway, but 2B's moveset is fantastic. So I feel like, you know, before this one, they had Soul Calibur 5. They tried to do this thing where they're in like the 17th or 18th century, rather, the 1700s, and they all have the descendants of all of these characters from the first game, or the first generation, and they tried to like do a second generation, and I did not like any of their character designs. I did not like any of their aesthetics, outfits, voices, anything, and I just was never super interested in anything that 5 made. Soul Calibur 6, though, was kind of a return to basics, to the old kind of designs. It looked really cool. And finally, at this point in the series, they introduced things like character finishers. So you'd build up your meter, and you'd be able to do some crazy, super cool finisher move on the character. Cervantes finally gets to use his gun, basically, and his sword. All good stuff like that. Some of the new characters that they've added to this game that might have also possibly been from 5, but again, I don't know because I never played it, were, oh my god, what's his name? Grow from the Netherlands, who is part of this secret organization that's hunting down, you know, the pieces of Soul Edge. And so what they've kind of done with the universe is, you know, Soul Edge is now no longer corrupting people exclusively, but shards of it, and also like a general miasma that comes from Soul Edge, which turns people into basically monsters and creatures and criminals and all that stuff. And so again, the gameplay is very reminiscent, more so, of Soul Calibur 4. It's very fluid. You have, you know, a bunch of colors following every time you throw your weapon out. You know, the roster incorporates a lot of the characters from the old games, which is great. It definitely cut out a lot of the side characters from 4, like, you know, Shura and, you know, Angle, Fear, and those kind of characters. Of course, what this game was really known for and kind of memed on was its sense of character creator, which still, to this day, I find absolutely hilarious. There was a whole month, I think, where I would just log on every day just to see the insane creations people were making for this game, because they were just simply outrageous. I believe also, I'm not sure, but this is where 2B's clown outfit also came from, because you could use her as a standard and then modify it in any way you want, and so people made different 2B costumes that just were clown themed, which is the opposite of her character, and I find that to be it's extremely funny. I've seen some really crazy things too, like someone somehow turned Voldo into a moving Magikarp somehow. Just crazy, very fun stuff. And also just I don't know, the creativity that poured into this game. Someone made, like, you know, Diggy Dugga Demon from, like, you know, Fairly Odd Parents, like just crazy stupid things, and that was a big and a really fun time that I was very fond of. That I think was even during COVID, if I recall. But yeah, what I also like about this game is, the characters are given more of a better kind of story mode that goes a little bit more into their past in a kind of a superficial way. It kind of retreads a lot of old ground, but it's generally more or less fairly good. One thing that I guess they opted out of is instead of, doing full, cutscenes and in-game cutscenes, I guess, they opted out for illustrative conversations, which I guess is okay. I just find that some of these dialogue and these conversations is kind of dry and redundant and very, very predictable and not very interesting at all. So, I mean, they exist, they're fine, but I would have preferred something, I guess, a little bit more, I don't know, snappy, I guess. Oh, and I forgot the new character Grow. He uses a double-sided sword, which is, again, just a crazy combination. I forgot, of course, to mention one of the characters from Soul Calibur 4, Tira. Like, she's sadistic, nightmare groupie. I love that. There aren't really a lot of new characters in this game. And now that I mentioned Tira, she was actually from Soul Calibur 3 even then. So yeah, they haven't been able to make a lot of new interesting characters. They've kind of been focusing on doing like, the old characters and make sure they transition well. But there's not a lot of really new interesting stuff here. But it is very cool what they have added, like final finishers. They've also added this special thing where you can, guard and then do an attack as a follow-up. And overall, I really do think this is an improvement to Soul Calibur 4's gameplay, marginally. And besides Soul Calibur 2, I think this is also one of my favorite Soul Calibur games. If I had to choose, I would still say 2, but, this is a very close runner-up to 2. I would say both 2 and 6 are really amazing games. And mainly because this one also has 2B, which again is just insane to me. She got her own stage, her own music. It was really, really cool. I was actually a little disappointed though, because when it came to 2B story mode, it basically was non-existent. She did not get a story mode, and it's kind of like, okay, understandable, because like she's literally an interloper into this universe. But like I think even The Witcher like got like a series of story mode and these little illustrations, and 2B just got nothing. She is just a character you can play as. She is just 2B, which is funny because when 2B is in another universe, Yoko Taro finds some way to make it canon and some way to make it make sense. But yeah, that would unfortunately was not the case here. But still a really great addition. I think, God, 2B's skill set is really, frankly, OP. It's very overpowered. She's able to, fly through the sky and use her sword. She's able to, use the pod and, go like from a distance, fire different kinds of bullets. God, thinking about it right now makes me want to actually play the game, because it's a lot of fun to play as her. Anyway, there's not much else I can say about this game or this series, except I still think it's a very solid game and it's a very solid series still today. Again, it's funny, the story mode kind of retraces a lot of, the old story of, Zhangua, Maxi, and Kilik and how they met and all this other stuff, and Cassandra and Astaroth, and Maxi and Astaroth, and so on and so forth. The one thing I guess I should maybe just bring up, since I'm already here, is there is, I find that Soul Calibur wants to do this kind of like brawler thing where they want to be able to fight a bunch of enemies in this 3D space, not just one-on-one. And the one time they did try that was Soul Calibur Legends on the Wii, and that was terrible. That is one of the worst games I have ever played, where after 10 minutes of playing it, like kid version me was like, I'm out. I'm absolutely out of this experience. It is absolutely abysmally terrible. Soul Calibur Legends on the Wii. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Like cursed lost media, frankly, if I'm being honest. I kind of wish I still had my copy, but I sold it because I was so disgusted by it. But now I kind of want it again just to know how bad it was, because it was so bad. The Wii had a lot of very questionable ports, and I think I just need to bring it up here because there's no way I'm ever going to review that cursed game. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. But anyway, I think that's all I have to really say about this game series and this game in general. Absolutely love it to death. I really hope it, keeps going and we have a next-gen version of it. Yeah, and if the pattern, keeps up, I will skip Soul Calibur 7 and play Soul Calibur 8. So we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, wonderful series, great series, lots of fun, lots of fun things you can do with your friends. I actually, just on that point, actually, there was a mode in Soul Calibur 2 that is not in any other Soul Calibur game, which is like team battle, where after your character is defeated, you can get another guy. And I swear to God, that is not in Soul Calibur 6. You have like a team of 3 people, and they'll fight back to back. So you get to use a different amount of movesets, not just stick to one character. The way I play fighting games and most games in general, I like getting talented like marginally with every character rather than just min-maxing into one guy and just making sure I win every match. I want to have fun with every character. I learn their ins and outs and feel like I've mastered every character to a certain degree rather than just putting all my chips into one guy just to make sure I win, because that's just not how I roll. And so that team battle mechanic was really good and really, cool to use and really great in that context. And I just wish that would come back, because it was literally in Soul Calibur 2 and they did not bring it back in the future games, and they just should. It's a simple, obvious thing to me. Anyway, that's it. See you guys later.